Monday, August 17th, 2026. We start with the invocation with roll call.
Okay.
According to the agenda.
Okay. Sword.
Here.
Almond.
Here.
Caligiuri.
Here.
Drost.
Here.
Hermsen.
Here.
Holmberg.
Here.
Ibrahim.
Here. Okay. Next is the invocation from Gateway Church of the Nazarene.
Pray. Lord, we thank you for who you are. We thank you for this incredibly beautiful day in August. And God, as we approach the end of summer and the consistent schedule of school being back in session, Lord, I just pray that you would bring blessing and favor to those that work in our education department, our educational system. God, we pray for protection. We pray for our teachers, our leaders, God, that they would just continue to educate the youth of our city in a way that is honoring to you and is beneficial for our society. Lord, I thank you for these leaders around this room. God, I pray that they would make wise decisions and, God, be discerning. God, would you give them your blessing tonight? And as we move forward, Lord, we just pray that you would just continue to bless our great city in which so many people reside. And God, we know there are many needs in a city of our size. So God, I just pray that you would give strength to those that lead and have them lead us well. We love you. We praise you. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I feel knowledgeable. Always.
It feels funny, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. First item on our agenda is the opportunity for community comments. This item is reserved to receive comments from the community for concerns whether or not they're on the current agenda. The community is encouraged to speak before the mayor and city council, asked to keep statements brief, time limited to no more than 3 minutes. Any questions are to be asked to the city staff, the council members, or the mayor prior to speaking to the full council, so that way concerns can be properly researched and perhaps answered away from the meeting. Comments are to be directed to the mayor and city council only. For those who want to provide comment during the meeting, there is a yellow slip that's provided at the podium. These are to be filled out ahead of time and then to the podium. And then we also ask that any side conversations be kept to a minute. Thank you for helping us maintain a quiet atmosphere so that everyone in the meeting can follow the discussion. We have just one tonight, Rusty Ward. Please come forward.
Thank you, Mayor. I understand if lot cameras are on the agenda or possibly on the agenda or in discussions at some point in certain circles. I'd like to address some of those concerns that people like me and others have. We'll call them automated license plate readers, ALPRs, are becoming ubiquitous, and our local law enforcement really wants them. The name is a bit of a misnomer. They function as vehicle recognition cameras, VRCs. They create a searchable database of any vehicle characteristic, only one of which is the license plate. They are also recording anything in its viewpoint, including pedestrians. They are a tool that has virtually no restrictions, regulations, or oversight. We need to prevent misuse and abuse of this tool. 3 main issues: warrantless searches, departmental policies, and data retention. Searches are made at the discretion of the searching officer. There is no justification required to convince a disinterested judge to issue a warrant. I would like to go into the negative publicity that the sheriff in Wapello County has generated, but that's neither here nor there. What I want to do is read a comment that I found online in another story about these cameras, and it kind of sums it up very well. Traditional cameras installed since 9/11 are closed-circuit television, CCTV, feeds like local red light cameras that store data and isolated local municipal servers, i.e. City departments and meetings like this. They cannot easily be searched by any other city's video. or operators and files. Every flock camera deploys links into a unified cloud database. If a vehicle crosses state lines, its location can instantly be queried by cameras in other states via the integrated network, provided data sharing permissions are enabled. Furthermore, flock cameras are put on public property by a private company, and then the information is sold to government entities and anyone else willing to pay for it. That's why they are so controversial. The state cannot violate your constitutionally protected rights, so this is an end around that pesky Constitution. Cities and law enforcement agencies are installing flock cameras alongside existing traffic cameras because traditional highway infrastructure is technically incapable of generating actionable criminal leads in real time. The bottom line is, flock cameras are basically fingerprinting your car in real time as you drive, and then recording all of your movements and selling that information. There have been two elected officials. One is a U.S. House rep in Indiana, Marlin Stutzman, who was driving his wife's car home and had an officer follow him into his driveway. You bet. According to the officer, his registration had expired. And I'll close with a quote from Benjamin Franklin. I don't think anybody in this room would like to compare intellects with him, including myself. Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rusty.
Thank you.
Moving on, next up is the consent agenda. These are all items that are routine in nature. They're voted on in single motion, and I wanted to draw attention to item F, which is a motion appointing Rochelle Holly to the Arts and Culture Commission. Item H is a resolution rescheduling a public hearing on the vacation and sale of a 103.4 foot by 16.5 foot north-south alley to 608 C Avenue West. Item J is a resolution scheduling a time for a public hearing on the proposition of entering into a lease and maintenance agreement for the copy machine for the police department. That's on September 8th. And item K is a resolution scheduling a public hearing for September 21st. This is to consider levying a special assessment against private property for weed cutting. We have a motion of support for the consent agenda.
Moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Almond.
Yes.
Caligari.
Yes.
Drost.
Yes.
Hermson. Holmberg.
Yes.
Ibrahim.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Getting into the regular agenda, item A is to consider, well, I guess I need to mention the vacancies we have on our various boards and commissions. The Airport Commission has one vacancy for a term ending in December of 2028. The Building Code Board of Appeals, a vacancy for an ex officio member. Planning and Zoning Commission has one vacancy for a term ending in April of 2027 and another vacancy for a term ending in April of 2030. The Arts and Culture Commission, we have three vacancies, three for a term ending December 31st of 2026. And the Historic Preservation Commission, one vacancy, it's for a term ending in December of 2028. Getting into the regular agenda, first up is consider a resolution levying a special assessment against private property for the cutting and removal of weeds by the city of Oskaloosa. And let's see here. Certified notices were sent to each property owner. A notice was published in the Oskaloosa Herald. And if approved, the property owner has 30 days from time of filing with Mahaska County Treasurer to pay for the weed cutting in the city clerk's office. After the 30 days, it's assessed to their property taxes with a payment schedule at 9% interest. So I'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone who'd like to? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. We have a motion of support for this resolution.
So moved.
Okay, any discussion?
So the Northwest, I know Chief is on vacation. The railroad, didn't we, I thought we had made some connections with them.
I'm not sure.
We've had that one before, correct? Isn't that?
I think that was Union Pacific.
Oh, that was
This
you. Okay,
is-
okay.
I just think of the same thing.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Caligiuri,
Yes.
Drost,
Yes.
Hermson,
Yes.
Holmberg,
Yes.
Ibrahim, Sword,
Yes.
Almond,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item B, this is to consider a request for the vacation and sale of a 120-foot by 16.5-foot north-south alley. It's adjacent to 1106 First Avenue West. The vacate request came from Dustin Lanfear, owner of the property located there. The property owner has listed his reason for the request to vacate the alley adjacent to his property as to, quote, make private driveways for 1106 and 1110 First Avenue West, cut out speeding traffic, and make the area safer for children, unquote. The alley was once attached, and he mentions as well, the alley was once attached to 1106 property per contract. The subject alley is located in an R2 zoning district. Planning and Zoning considered the request at their meeting on August 4th. They did recommend denying the alley vacate by a vote of 1 approving and 4 denying. Staff conducted a survey of the property owners and utility companies that have direct access to the alley. 17 neighbor property owners were surveyed, 12 responses received. Of those responses, 5 were opposed, stating they use the alley to access their properties. 5 were not opposed, and 2 were interested in purchasing their portion. So at this time of writing the memo, 3 utility companies have responded, and none of which have infrastructure located through this alley that would require an access easement. And so this does require a public hearing, so I'll open the public hearing if anyone would like to speak to this. Yes, sir. Name and address, please.
Yep. Hi, Dustin Lamfair, 1106 First Avenue West. Yeah, the whole purpose of us wanting to purchase it, my daughter lives in 1110. It's become a racetrack. That's kind of the thing. We're trying to cut down on that. They're at 1105 Second Avenue West. We get a lot of traffic there. That's an abandoned house. They're going to 1023. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, come through both ends of the alley. For some reason, it's a neighborhood, but it's a racetrack anymore. So that's kind of our reason. We just like to turn it into a private driveway between the two of us. So that's kind of our thing. So thank you.
Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Council members, do we have a motion
Moved
as to?
to purchase.
Vacate.
Vacate.
Okay, so the recommendation is to deny. And so is the motion to vacate or to deny?
To deny, sorry.
Okay, so that's our motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, that opens up the discussion.
I guess the only thing I would question, Dustin, and I know the area, 'cause I use that for work too, with having 5 opposed and 5, again, I'm assuming quite a few people use this alley to
Right.
access their garage,
So,
correct?
when we were planning and zoning, 1208 and 1202 were there, and we were kind of the hot topic at planning and zoning. We was the longest discussion there. Yeah, they were the two that showed up and talked kind of in length about that. Their biggest thing was going from the other end. The alley washes out quite a bit. That's why they don't use that. And then them backing a trailer in. Coming from the other direction, they have a hard time getting their trailer in, so they come in from our other way. And then they said in the winter, I guess kind of in the corner there where the alley meets South M, there's some ice buildup and whatnot. So that was kind of their thing, was why they didn't, want to block off our end, I guess, was their big reasons, they didn't want it shut off. So, yeah.
And the reason I'm, for you to let you impose it, because I see there was a lot of people that used that alley.
Hmm.
I don't know the whole story.
Right.
So,
Yep.
but you mentioned earlier that people use it as a racetrack?
Yeah, it's for some reason people come flying down through there. My garage has been hit twice, and then my daughter's kind of there on the corner. I don't know if the pictures show it or not, but there's yellow kind of stakes out there or whatever markers. That's to keep cars away from her garage. The alley kept creeping in. Yeah, there's actually 3 of them. It's kind of hard to see in the picture, but yeah, there you go. The alley kept creeping to her garage, and her garage has been hit as well. So that's the point of those, and that was kind of the reason why we wanted that portion for the driveway and that sort of thing. So, yeah.
Murphy, question just generally in the city alleys, is there anything code-wise or general practice of dead-end alleys? Because I mean, that's what I see.
Yeah. So generally speaking, if I remember correctly, the code calls for alleys to essentially all be one way. You're only supposed to navigate an alley in a specific direction. And I apologize, I don't recall if that's generally east-west or north-south specifically for each one. But I would say generally speaking, a dead-end alley would be contradictory to that part of the code. This particular alley may have a challenge depending on which directions that is, but either way, the thrust of it is that they're intended to be one way.
Is there anything that we can do to slow the traffic down if we don't close it? I mean, is there, I guess I'm trying to help both. I mean,
Right.
Because I know, like I said, I've used that alley too, because I've had things in the back, and I just, yeah.
And that was kind of the big thing at planning and zoning too, was the neighbors that came. That was their big issue too, was, the traffic coming through. The neighbors using it, not a big deal. It's the race cars coming through there. That was the thing they had a problem with, and that sort of thing. And then, like I said, with it washing out, which we don't go down the other end of the alley. We maintain ours, and we take the shortest path, so we don't ever go through the other end. We don't have any
Is there a way
need
to put a
to.
sign alley access for residential? I mean, I'm just trying to slow down the.
I'm not sure if it would be appropriate to put an alley access for residents only, just because it is public right of way. So we can't really necessarily state that it's specifically for the residents. We could post a speed limit sign on it. The alleys do have a speed limit throughout town by code. I believe it's 15 miles per hour, but I'd have to look at the code to be sure about that. And sometimes posting a speed limit sign can help people have at least some idea of what speed they should be traveling. It could be that some people are traveling quickly because they just don't have any concept of this is the approximate speed I should be driving here. As far as putting actual speed controls, with it being gravel, it's pretty difficult to put any kind of speed bump or any kind of direct speed control like that on it. I can certainly try and do more research, but the short term, the easiest thing I could think of to do is to post a speed limit on the alley, which typically we wouldn't do, but it may.
Would close it off if you were able to purchase it.
Right. We haven't talked a whole lot about it, but so the property pin is just be the east of that stake right there. We talked about putting a gate across there or something like that. I mean, we don't have a definite plan for that, but yeah, we talked something like that.
Your thoughts were some kind of physical barrier, though?
Something like that. We don't have, a set in stone plan, for that. Yeah. Yeah. So, Yeah, and the utilities that you see there, MediaCom and whatever it is now, it's Quest, whatever they go by, Lumen, I think is what it is, or the utilities that are on the poles there. So, yeah.
The folks that are driving up and down the alley, are they all residents or?
Not all of them.
Okay. Related somehow to the folks that live there, or any guesses?
I don't know. One gentleman that I stopped, we were cleaning the garage out. It's probably been a couple months ago. I have no idea where he come from, but I was fortunate enough to stop him and somewhat polite, and I just told him, this isn't a racetrack, and I have a 6-year-old grandson, and yeah, it's not a racetrack, I don't want him getting hurt or anyone else, for that matter. And he did, we have cameras on both houses, and we could see him coming through there, and that day I was fortunate enough to catch him. And yeah, so, but no, not all of them are residents. Some of the residents are pretty decent. The ones that came to the meeting, the planning and zoning meeting, I don't have any problem with them. They're, they go through there great. They're good. A couple of the other ones, yeah, they're not so great, and yeah, then people, I have no idea where they come from. I lived there 22 years, so I kind of know, you know your neighbors by now, what they drive and stuff like that. So
I guess my only other thought, you guys, would be that it looks very narrow, so if you were to shut it off, I'm worried about people being able to make a turnaround.
Right.
Especially if there's a gate there.
Right.
Then you're driving and somebody's doing, that's my
Right.
only other concern, if those people are accessing that alley for their,
Yeah, some of them have garages back there.
yeah. And so if you're gonna have to turn around, it might be I'm just.
I don't know if there really are garages.
yeah, the ones with the garages are all, down at the other end where the other accesses and stuff like that. Our garages, face the other direction, but yeah. So.
Sean?
Curious just to see if maybe Ben or Sean has any extra perspective to share on this. Not that you have to, but just if you do.
The way that's designed, I mean, we're through there all the time. We don't necessarily use the gravel, but even just seeing how it's rounded like that, it almost begs for somebody to hit a little faster than normal, but instead of a right angle. So I don't know if it was originally like that or if it just evolved into that over time. As you said, you put the yellow posts up.
So that's funny you say that. Many years ago, that went straight on. So there's another property owner that lives on down First Avenue. There's a duplex there. Originally, that alley went straight through there, and that got vacated many, many years ago. And then somewhere along the line, then that made the turn there. But it was a straight through alley at some point. I think Edel's owned that duplex.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So that was a straight through. There's part of a garage built on this thing now, but and part of my garage is kind of where the old alley used to go. But yeah, so to your point, yeah, it used to go straight through years and years ago. So about where that maroon vehicle is, give or take a little bit, the alley used to go straight through.
East.
Yes. Yeah, because if you look at the duplex property, it's got a weird kind of little attachment that goes with it that used to be this alley years ago. And then it would dump out to South I.
Yeah, and one of the things that I would add, and I mentioned this at the meeting, because there was some conversation by P&Z commissioners as well. Is there anything that we can do to try to help them in the situation that they're dealing with? As I had suggested, anything that they can do to narrow up that corridor to make it less comfortable for people to drive fast through there. And one of the biggest, most effective ways would be to park vehicles next to that route. Obviously, you're putting your vehicle at risk if people are speeding, but that could be an opportunity. If anybody needs some extra parking, you could go in the back or along that alley and maybe try to make it less comfortable. But I think that's a great idea that Chief Bakey brought up, and I was thinking something similar as well. With gravel alleys, they don't stay in place. They tend to and they tend to get out of the area that's actually platted for that. Maybe you could bring up the map as well. They tend to get out of the area that's platted, and you can see that that's essentially a right angle, but there may have been some encroachment. So I wonder if there could be an effort, perhaps by the property owners, to relocate, regrade, get that gravel back to within the platted right-of-way itself, make it more of a right angle, and if that, reducing that curve or eliminating that curve could help people slow down as well. And
make it more of a sharp.
Like more of a sharp turn, and I don't know if you were joking or not.
No, you can.
So he mentioned you could put boulders out there, and I have seen
Yeah.
You can.
put up landscaping features or something that could help keep people away.
Put a big guardrail.
Then they're not cutting
Keep it on private property.
On the other end by M Street, those two houses on the end, I remember those were moved there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the
And then we did-
1214 was moved there, and 1212 was a Habitat house. It was actually
Habitat,
built.
right.
Yeah.
I think we did some plumbing in that area too. I think.
Yeah, 1214, I don't remember if the sewer or something went through there, but yeah, there was some, it was moved more to the west.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think to make room to build
And
on
that's probably
that.
why it's causing issues there at that.
That could be, because those two
Alley.
lots sat vacant for many, many years. And then I think Mid-American, I think, owns that other vacant lot just to the south there, I think, yeah.
Any further comments from council, questions, discussion? There's a motion to deny. Roll call, please.
Drost,
Yes.
Hermson,
Yes.
Holmberg, Ibrahim,
Yes.
Sword,
Yes.
Almond,
Yes.
Palaguri,
Yes.
Okay. The denial passes. Item C. Consider a resolution for the vacation and sale of a 240-foot by 16.5-foot north-south and a 256.5 by 16.5 east-west alleys in the fourth block of Houses Addition. The vacate request came from Elliot and Kristen Sass. They're the owners of the property at 707 4th Avenue East for the alleys that I mentioned. Property owners have listed the reason for the request to vacate the alleys adjacent to the property as, quote, acquisition would restrict access to legitimate users to improve safety and alley maintenance accountability. Ongoing safety concerns of excessive speeding and mistreatment from non-neighboring users. Purchase preserves and guarantees full and continuous access and easement rights for the garage and drive associated with 709 property off of the north-south alley, unquote. The subject alley is in an R2 district. Staff recommend the city also consider vacating and selling the remaining alleyways in that fourth block of Houses Addition to interested property owners. So P&Z considered this request at their meeting on August 4th, recommended approving the alley vacate by 5 approved, 0 deny. Staff conducted a survey of the property owners and utility companies that have access to it. 7 of the property owners surveyed, 6 responded, 3 interested in buying adjacent sections of the alley, and the rest were not opposed. At the time of writing the memo, 2 utility companies responded, both having aerial infrastructure on poles located through the east-west alley that would require an access easement if it were vacated. And additionally, there's a private sewer service that runs through the west half of the east-west alley. So I'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone who would like to speak to this? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Do we have a motion of support?
So moved.
Discussion.
Can someone help me understand why this one was approved and the other one was not? Other than I know there's fewer property owners here, are there more people willing to purchase their piece, or is that what it amounts to?
That's why I read more people are interested in buying portions of the alley.
Nobody was opposed to it,
Nobody
correct?
opposed.
Nobody opposed.
Right, okay, that's what I thought too. I just want to make sure.
So, Andy, the other alley vacate, and this is my observation of how the city has handled alley vacates in general, is that if selling the alley creates a situation where someone has a rear garage or some other access that they need to their property that the alley provides that they can't get off of the street, that's the most common situation that we've denied alley vacates. So in the previous instance, because the city has the expectation that alleys are one way, cutting off the end kind of makes the alley unusable. So in that situation, it was creating several garages which didn't have access effectively. In this case, all of the garages that are accessing from this alley would gain ownership of the land that they need to access that garage. So they'd be integrating what is essentially a driveway for them already into their property. Now, obviously, some of the other property owners may or may not be using the alley for through or for other purposes that may affect their overall usage, but they would still have access to their garages.
Thank you.
So between 707 and 709, would that be because they both share like that section, would that be
Wait.
an issue though? Like,
So that segment would be a little bit more of a challenge. Most likely there would need to be an access agreement and some kind of, it would be a shared driveway. So that eastern part, that part may not be desirable to include in the alley vacate, although again, technically speaking, it does kind of create a dead-end alley, but with it only serving two properties, that may not be as large of a concern.
am I reading the key right? That's the vacate requested area though.
I'm sorry, I thought you were referring to the eastern part. You're talking about the southern part?
Yes, 709.
Right, and I believe the initial request said that they wanted to have that as a shared driveway, which we've done on an alley vacate at least once before. It is certainly a concern. It would be something that there would need to be an easement in place as we're selling it to provide access to both properties. But if they're both agreeable to that situation, then it is something we've done.
The only other piece of that is two new property owners become owners, but there isn't anything really to restrict anybody else from coming into it, right? I mean, they can post it or something along those lines, but
I mean, it would be the same as any other private property, where it would be up to them how they want.
I can relate to that. When I bought my house, the driveway was the easement from the owner. When I bought the house, they asked me, do you want to keep the easement there? And I said, no. So that piece went back to the original owner. I just moved my driveway over on my property. And then what would happen here too, if somebody bought 709, you know.
And Sean, you're right. I just pulled up the application, and it says purchase will preserve and guarantee full and continuous access and easement rights for the garage and drive associated with the 709 property, and it's 707 that applied. So, so they have obviously talked about it. 709 was in favor.
Other comments or questions? Okay, we've got, I want to clarify that the motion, is it to follow the recommendation where staff is recommending approving the request and vacating the remaining alleyways?
Yeah, my motion was to approve.
Okay, and the second as well. Roll call, please.
Hermsen?
Yes.
Holmberg?
yes.
Ibrahim?
Yes.
Sword?
Yes.
Almond?
Yes.
Caligiuri,
Yes.
Drost,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item D, this is to consider approval of liquor license application. And so we've got a listing here, 5 of them are Casey's, that they are applying because of a change in officers. Item B in there is a new application for alcohol license for 1775 Brewing Company, also known as the 1775's Oskaloosa Outpost. And then item C is a renewal application for a Class C license. Do we have a motion of support?
So moved.
Okay. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Holmberg,
Yes.
Ibrahim,
Yes.
Sword,
Yes.
Almond,
Yes.
Caligiuri,
Yes.
Drost,
Abstain.
Hermson,
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item E is to consider a resolution authorizing an order agreement and integrated payments addendum with BSA Software LLC. This is for software services and that is for building permits and inspections. The city's 3-year contract with Cloud